So in the first hour of Singles Day on November 11 this year, Alibaba.com alone sold $8.6 billion worth of merchandise.
Say what?
That's a lot of stuff, right? $8.6 billion. I actually had to try and wrap my head around how much that is. The way it works out is it's about $143 million a minute for every minute of the first hour of Singles Day. And just to put that into perspective for you, the average H&M sells about $42 million US a year. So in the first in the first minute of Singles Day, Alibaba.com was selling what 3 H&M stores do in a full fiscal year. And if that still isn't quite hitting home for you, think about it this way. In the first hour of Singles Day, Alibaba.com sold 2.5 times what every single retailer in the United States sold online on Black Friday. Right? Just to show you the magnitude of what is happening out there. Now, I don't want to try and tell you that e-commerce is all bad news. It's not, of course, because many of you, I'm sure, are working with companies that are growing your businesses with e-commerce. But what concerns me is that right now in the United States, 60 cents on every incremental dollar that gets spent online is going to one company, Amazon.com. The rest of the industry is now fighting over what is left. And much to a lot of retailers' chagrin, Amazon.com this year, according to the folks at Business of Fashion, will be the #1 seller of apparel in the United States. The challenge, it seems now, is not to convince consumers to buy things online. That was the challenge. Only about 10 years ago, companies were still trying to cajole consumers to come online and buy things like automobiles and food and prescription items and apparel. That is not the challenge anymore. Today, the challenge is to get the things that they're buying to them. And on Singles Day alone, 100,000 cars were sold on Alibaba.com. Right? So the challenge is now to get the things that consumers are buying to them in this ever-diminishing window of time. So we're seeing Amazon putting lockers on campuses and in apartment buildings so that consumers can pick their packages up 24/7. We're seeing the co-founders of Skype create this little 6-wheeled robot that's going through the streets of London delivering groceries as we speak. And of course, Jeff Bezos is saying, well, I'll just land a helicopter on your front porch with your package, get it to you very, very quickly. And so that is really the challenge now, is we've come to this point where people are wondering, when does this end? When does the meteoric growth of e-commerce slow down to the point of the rest of the retail industry, which really hasn't grown at above 6% on average for the last 10 years? And I think we're a long way away from that, in fact. The way I see it, we're sort of at the end of the beginning of e-commerce. I think if e-commerce were a book, we might have just finished chapter 1. And chapter 1 was Amazon. Right? We've got a lot further to read on in this book. We know that there are technologies right now that are poised to propel e-commerce even further. I don't have to show you all kinds of charts and graphs to tell you that mobile is taking a greater and greater share of online traffic. I mean, just look around you, right? This is the world we live in, right? We are sort of together, alone, having our own little media experiences in the palm of our hands. We go to live events, and we become the film crew in our own lives. And then we go back to our hotel rooms and our homes, and we watch the videos as though we were never even there. It's kind of bizarre, isn't it? This, from what I understand, is the way the end of the world is going to look, just so you're fully prepared for that. Not 100% sure, but we think that could be the way it goes down. So, just so you know. But what lies beyond mobile? That's the question, right? Right now we know that we're heading on to the cusp of the Internet of Things. this point where devices and sensors and technology is going to be built into more aspects of our lives. Pills that we swallow that talk to our pharmacists and our healthcare providers, our homes, our cars, our appliances, and yes, even our clothing will be connected, intelligent, and potentially even making transactions on our behalf. We're already starting to see this technology roll into the product environment. This Brita water filter, which you can buy from Amazon, reorders its own carbon cartridge when the carbon cartridge is no longer good. Because really, who wants to have to worry about that sort of thing, right? So Amazon will look after that for you, and it'll simply come when you need one.